A very pleasant good afternoon as we welcome you back into another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube, our favorite place to be and our home away from home on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. As man, we've got a lot to delve into. We'll start right out of the gate here with the national championship game last night in college football. It was Indiana beating Miami 27-21. And yep, the Indiana Hoosiers are your national champions. Not only are they the national champions
in football,
there is really zero question, no doubt in anybody's mind, or there certainly should not be, as to who the best team in college football was this season. Undefeated and national champions here in 2026 as the Hoosiers take care of business. And there were a few things, Goon, that stood out to me. And I know, there's a lot of people, man, how are they doing it? And I love the crowd that, they just went out and got a bunch of older players and they bought a title. Well, okay. Penn State was trying to do that. Ohio State was trying to do that. Texas was trying to do that. A lot of these places have even more resources than Indiana's, admittedly, now substantial resources. And they all have a lot more tradition, a lot more history, a lot more alumni that have been involved at the higher levels for a longer period of time. So, buzzer on that one. It's not, you can't say, well, man, Indiana just gamed the system when everybody else is trying to game the system as well. I mean, maybe they did do it better than anybody, but again, that's just a hat tip then to them. But what they really did at the end of the day, because they don't have, and Signetti has said it a couple of times, they don't have the top end, the top 10 draft picks in the NFL, the surefire guys coming out of high school. I mean, Mendoza likely now is going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft, but nobody saw that coming when he transferred in. It wasn't, oh my gosh, Indiana got Mendoza. Look out, boy, they're going to be in the nobody. It was like, oh, okay, they got a quarterback from California. That's interesting.
And a coach from Division I AA.
And Signetti came in very brash, very bold, and I'll be the first to admit I was one of the many folks that are like, whoa, dude. Like, I don't know if you quite understand what you're getting into here. You're in the Big Ten now. It's cool to talk a big talk, but man, in this league, at Indiana, good luck backing that up. And then what he did is go out and over 2 years lose a total of 2 games and win a national title and bring it home to Bloomington. And what, again, they did, okay, fine. They had older players, more experienced players. He obviously has, Kurt Signetti, has an unbelievable eye for talent and for who will fit in with what he's trying to do. But listen, every coach will tell you, every coach at every level, man, we don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to beat ourselves. And they're preaching it day after day. They're practicing it. Man, we don't turn the ball over. Don't throw interceptions. Don't fumble the ball. Don't commit penalties. What Indiana did was go out and not throw interceptions, not fumble the football, and not commit penalties. Last night was actually the anomaly.
Yes, it was.
With a few penalties.
2 penalties that could have cost them that game.
Early in the contest, but good Lord, was that a disciplined team. They don't lose fumbles. They do everything really well. They don't have missed assignments. How many times this year with an experienced Penn State team, and I'm not picking on the Nittany Lions, this is across the board in college football. You can pick any team. And it's like, oh, man, miscommunication in the secondary. That guy was in the wrong spot. Oh, he didn't see that guy. Man, I mean, I'm sure it happened a time or two throughout the season. But, boy, they I mean, they were just disciplined. They did not miss assignments. They understood their role. And last night you had Mendoza. And it's a combination of things, right? It's a coach who's aggressive, but not ridiculously so. When they had a chance to kick the field goal late and kind of salt it, it's like, yep, we're going to do that. But on a 4th and 5 at the opponent's 12-yard line, you call the quarterback draw. Are you kidding me? And not only do they get the first down, Mendoza makes one of the great highlight plays of the entire season and dives into the end zone. The blocked punt. I mean, special teams. How many times do we say it, Goon? All great coaches say it. All average coaches say, man, special teams, it's a difference maker. Well, what happened last night? Indiana's special teams, a difference maker. The defense, when it needed a turnover, came up with a turnover. When it needed a big stop, got a big stop. All 3 phases of football throughout the season and for most of last night was just executed at as high a level as we've seen in college football in recent memory, in my lifetime. They just execute better than anybody else in the sport.
That's what some pro scouts are saying. They're going to a Signeti coached Indiana practice, and they're saying they're the most disciplined, hardworking team. But they all know what they're doing, and it's amazing. I watched their offensive line close yesterday, and they had a slow-mo play on the goal line, and I'm trying to explain this to my wife. The blocking scheme of how easy it is to screw it up. And I said it's a 2-on-1 blocking scheme. You know, it's sort of a delay. So the center and the left guard got the nose and Mike being the middle linebacker. It's so easy for both guys to hit the D tackles, and then the linebackers move, and then they both fall off onto the linebacker, D lineman makes the play. You see it every level of football. You see it every play.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I watched these guys last night. It was patience that these guys had when they're working those combination blocks, and they were staying on the blocks. And the key is waiting till the linebacker declares where he's going to go, and that decides which offensive lineman is going to pop off and get him. I have not seen this in 20 years, the patience of this offensive line.
Yep.
And again, I'm saying they have gone the whole season in the least penalized team. They don't make mistakes, but that fourth quarter, they had 2 huge penalties that literally could have cost them that game. And that was like one of those, like, oh my goodness, could you freaking imagine if it came down to this? And their all-world left tackle false starts on that 4th down and short.
Yep.
Could not believe it. And then their really, really good defensive tackle roughs the quarterback on it for a 15-yard, gives him a first down. And I could not believe it. I'm like, wow, they went the whole season, and now they're going to implode. So,
well, what was remarkable about that, so they did call the roughing the passer on that one.
Yep. Oh, no.
They should have called probably 3 or 4 roughing the passer calls on Miami. The one, do you have an explanation? Because, I mean, you could say the officials didn't see it. They have, at every level of football now, my God, do they have eyes on the quarterback? I genuinely, I don't understand how you could possibly have somebody's helmet hit the quarterback immediately after or as the throw's being made or right after. And, oh, yeah, no, we didn't see anything. Come on. Yeah. Like, that is – it's just inexplicable.
So if you watch in that first half, they ran our RPO, and he hands the ball off, and he's literally – we're talking about Mendoza standing there, and he hits the defensive end. He's standing there, and the defensive end just takes a pure, clean, open shot, put his helmet right underneath his chin. It should have been targeting, actually, with how the crown of his helmet hit him.
Yep.
But 2 is, if you watch the rest of that game, and when they ran that RPO, they didn't even look at Mendoza keeping that ball. I don't know if you watched it. And I was like, let's put that play away because, one, we don't want Mendoza getting hit. And two is he's obviously not going to – he's been told he's not going to keep the ball because if he goes out of that game and his little brother's going to come in, holy crap. So Indiana was 101 odds to win the national title in preseason.
Yeah.
Biggest preseason odds
longest odds to win the
yep.
national title
Holy
from
crap.
a champion
good for them.
Modern
I'm very happy for them. It proves that you can do it and proves that good coaching still goes a long damn way.
Ooh.
And, good, smart football players go a long way too. And I got to give Miami credit. Every time Indiana scored to go up and was pulling away, I am marveling. I got to say this, and it hurts me to say it. But every time I played Miami, watched Miami play, I always suspected them to be quitters and stuff like that. But I'm telling you right now, those kids last night and this team did not quit. If anything, they got tougher as as Indiana scored. Miami just they pull their pants up and say, "Let's go to work now. They got to do this stuff now." And they're a talented team, a very talented team.
Yeah, they're dirty though, man. Like there's a line there. We saw it a little differently. There's tough, and then there's dirty, and that program. It was the same thing we saw in the 80s. It's not a good look for college football. It really isn't. You saw some stuff throughout that game. It's like, oh, come on, man! Like that's cheap.
Yeah.
A lot of hits that were borderline questionable late, but also some just unnecessary stuff. It's like, no, dude, that's not football, man. And then the punch after the game, come on, you lost the game. Man up, get your hell off the field.
I'd be interested because I had heard a rumor that he had made fun of that. There was a. That's the kid whose father died, not King Mac, but Fletcher's father had passed, and they showed a video of him earlier in the game of the kid wearing a shirt for his dad, and supposedly the Indiana kid said something about his dad passing.
Yeah, then get off the field. Go to the locker room. Go to the locker room.
Another thing you don't do.
Yep, go to the locker room. Don't stay out there on the field and get into it. Like I'd say, all the more reason to get off the field. Show a modicum of class.
Big word.
I don't know. I did not think Miami acquitted. Yeah, we saw it a little differently. I didn't think Miami acquitted themselves very well at all throughout the contest. I was glad to see Indiana win it because that team plays hard. Like they go to the whistle, but man, the whistle blows, they stop. They understand the rules of the game. I think there needs to be a little bit of a seminar maybe in Miami before next season as to how this thing's supposed to be played.
They'll celebrate it. That'll become their MO again. Like, this is what we try to do. We try to knock quarterbacks out of games. But man,
Cignetti is
he's Googleable.
I know it's 2 years, but I cannot think of another 2 years where a coach has been more impressive in college football. Obviously, what Nick Saban did at Alabama was terrific. Also had a ton of resources, a lot of history. Again, what he did is terrific. But to change around a culture that quickly, boom, we're right here with the big boys. There are only 2 losses in the 2 years of Curt Cignetti at Indiana. The 2 losses were to the teams that played for the national title last season. They have not lost a game to a team that was not in the national title game yet in his coaching career. That is crazy. It's crazy anywhere. It's really insane when you say it out loud that it happened at Indiana. And I got to tell you, Goon, I don't think we'll see what happens. I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to tell you they're going to go on a Nick Saban run and win a bunch of national titles, but I'm not going to tell you they're not going to either because Curt Cignetti knows how to coach. I think kids now, if you're a big name kid, you're like, yeah, I would like to go be part of that. That seems really cool. That fan base. Woo-hoo. Are you kidding me? They go to Miami and take over
in Miami,
Miami's home stadium. Thanks, Hurricane fans, for showing up. But, yeah, this is our party. Wow.
He's already losing his staff, by the way.
Yep, and that's going to –
see that?
Yep.
His strength coach just he is – I can't believe this. He is the highest paid strength coach in the history of the game right now.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you what he's getting paid. Did you see the number?
No.
$1.2 million.
Yep.
For your strength coach.
Yep.
I've been in that position. I'm going to tell you this, and you know this too. It is one of the not the most, if not the most important position in your program. You are the person. Now, Signetti, I texted Jeremy, Scott, Fitzy, and JT earlier, all my strength coach friends, and I said it's about time that the strength coaches are getting recognition because
the big money.
Yeah, I mean, you're the guy. I mean, as much as me and you sit there and say Kurt Signetti made this team tough, no, he didn't. Their strength coach made these guys tough. Their practice habits made them tough. I saw a great interview with Signetti earlier. I don't even know if it was today, yesterday, or like a month ago or whatever. He was going through his week of practice, Monday walkthrough, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 1 hour and 35 minutes to 1 hour and 45 minutes. Friday, light walkthrough. I'm not going to be tired for the game. Keep them fresh for the game. And I was like, damn, I love it. I mean, you keep that structure and stuff like that. And those kids know that. And they know to go out there for that hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, and it's time to work. They can do that. You're keeping teams out there for 3 hours, some coaches do, and stuff like that. You're losing them. You're not doing anything but like, you know, there's rumors that, you know, with James here, he was meeting too much and talking too much, and, you know, having these guys are just worn out by the time the game started. So, interested, happy for Indiana, happy for the Big Ten, happy we made a little bit more money as a Big Ten member with the national title. But now it's our turn. Let's go.
How about the little statistical nugget? First time that the Big Ten has won 3 consecutive national titles. Of course, Michigan won it 2 years ago. Ohio State won it last year, and now Indiana this year. So 3 straight years that the Big Ten has had a team crowned as national champion. You know the last time that happened for the Big Ten Conference?
Well, I know this. In 1968 was the last time there was an undefeated or a team that played for a national title before Penn State joined the Big Ten.
Yep.
That's how I know.
The last time the conference
had 3 in a row,
won 3 consecutive national championships,
28-31.
You're close, 40-42. Minnesota won it in 1940 and again in 41, and then Ohio State won it in 1942. But not since then has the Big Ten gone on a run like this of 3 straight national championships. And when you look at the Big Ten will be poised to make a run again next year. You know, I think Indiana is going to be right in the thick of it again. Goon. Ohio State right now in the way too early odds. It's Ohio State and Notre Dame that are the co-betting favorites right now to win the national championship next season. So you have Ohio State. I think Oregon isn't going anywhere. They're going to be right in the mix. So to me, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, all should be viewed among the title contenders. USC is coming up strong, and I think is a team worth keeping an eye on. And then you have Penn State sitting here, Goon, and I really don't know what to make of what Penn State will have or what it will be able to show up as next season. I know the schedule is favorable. People keep pointing to that, and that's terrific. But I really have no confidence one way or the other. I mean, I couldn't sit here and reasonably tell you that, yes, I I really see this team winning 11 or 12 games or winning 6 or 7 or somewhere in between. I mean, I don't think they're going to fall off the edge of the earth, but man, I don't have any feel for how this team in this conference next season is going to come together.
Just a quick announcement. The schedule comes out January 27th, next Tuesday.
Okay.
At 5:30 p.m. They announced it today.
All right.
So, yes, I'm very interested to see how
late,
it's horribly late.
Crazy.
They announced it a month and a half before last year.
Is that okay?
I mean, you said it was something to do with the West Coast teams are trying to manipulate and figure that type of thing out. I mean,
I don't know why it would take that. I mean, it makes sense to let's make sure. Let's try to get
let's not have
this lined up so that the West Coast teams aren't having to make 5 separate crazy trips. But
take an extra 6 weeks to do that. Huh?
Like, I don't. I mean, you've known what the situation is, right? If you're the conference office, that just seems bizarre to me. Regardless, I think it's I've seen people, well, best case scenario, this is going to go like Indiana. You're bringing in a lot of the guys from Iowa State. Iowa State's a step up from James Madison. Give me a break and all of this stuff. I'm like, maybe it could come together that way. It worries me, Goon, that the lack of 4 and 5 stars, and I get it. We just saw Indiana. I mean, I get it as far as it goes. This doesn't feel like that to me. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and changing my tune on that. And here's Matt Campbell, the next Kurt Signetti next season. It all magically comes together, and Penn State's right there knocking on the door. As we sit here today, it just feels unlikely. It doesn't feel like this team has that type of talent.
I do.
More than anything else. I don't know.
I just think it's a breath of fresh air is what we're going to get next year. I think it's what Signetti has. And again, I go back to Signetti now has to do this, and that is he has to make these kids as hungry as his past team was. That is going to be his. Can he keep these guys playing at this level? That like I've said, some teams I know, aka my buddy Tim Sweeney. You obviously Ironhead knows him. He coached a high school team. I don't won a game in 3 years. They go to the playoffs in like year 2, playing for a Whitfield title, year 5. But he said year 6 and 7, he's like, the kids that were playing for him, they didn't know what it was like when they stunk. And they started having a little bit of entitlement to him. So Signetti is going to have to keep that going and keep that fresh with his team. And
don't you get the feeling that he'll be able to do that? I think he has
a pretty good idea of what the hell he wants to do.
When you look at what he did this season and keeping that team,
he did a great job in the portal. I mean, great job in the portal, and that is going out and getting guys. I'm looking at Marcus Freeman before the game. He's talking about the game, who he wants to pick, and stuff like that. And he said how much he loves Coogan, the center, who played for him last year and then left. He's playing for Indiana this year, but the coach from Notre Dame still says, I love him. So what does that say? That means that Coogan got freaking big-time paid to go there. So, if it's like one of those things that Freeman was like, hey, Coog, you got to go. I want you to stay here and all, but I can't pay you what they're going to pay you. And I don't know what Coogan got paid or whatever, whatnot. But that's a big thing. Can they keep going out and finding these guys and paying them and then having them project and having them. I mean, these guys all hit. He hit on almost all of his transfer portal guys. All his JMU guys were doing great. The guy who blocked the kick last night was one of his guys from JMU. I mean, the man pushed almost every button he pushed the last 2 years. It was the damn right one. Google him. Just Google him. Just ask him.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, his arrogance, though, hey, that's a good thing. There's a difference in arrogance and cockiness and a swagger. That's the swagger that man has. And that man backed it up.
In as big a way as you possibly could. It is as impressive as anything I've seen in my lifetime in college football. I can't even think of anything that's comparable. I mean, what James Franklin did at Vanderbilt was remarkable, but I mean, 9 wins. Like, I mean, and it was remarkable.
But I'd say Northwestern in my senior year and the first year after, but they didn't win a national title.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
He went undefeated and won a national title.
Yes, at Indiana.
What do you compare it to? I mean, I'm going to say Miracle on Ice, just completely out of the blue. I mean, the Miracle on Ice. I mean, our guys were.
That's a little different. The Miracle on Ice, just in that, like that to me is still next level, because you had guys that were playing together and being paid for years and years against really a ragtag group of mostly college kids and being thrown together. So that is still, I mean, Indiana, again, I had the resources, they had good players, and all of that being said, it is still hard to fathom it coming together and resulting in an actual national championship. Again, you're like Northwestern was shockingly good,
yes,
no question. And winning a Big Ten championship is a big deal. And honestly, if Indiana had lost in the quarterfinals, they'd still be the best story in college football the last 2 years. But they didn't just win the Big Ten. They didn't just get back to the playoffs.
They won the most games in the history of college football.
Well, and they hammered good teams. I mean, other title contending teams, they hammered. And even, again, Miami, I think, got the benefit of the some officiating last night. And no question, Miami was playing very well at the end of the season. Very physical brand of football, but they couldn't match Indiana when it comes to, hey, we need a play in the clutch. Mendoza is there. The field goal return unit is there. The defense is there. I mean, they just show up every time in every game when needed.
And you also have the Heisman Trophy winning your quarterback. So how much is Cignetti? How much was Mendoza? Well, that kid's special. I absolutely love the way Mendoza played that game. And I love the whole story. There's nothing about the Mendoza story I don't like.
And here's the thing. In college football, you can say, all right, yeah, it was mostly Mendoza. Well, who was it that went out and brought Mendoza in? I mean, in college football, it is the head coach. So, yeah, you need, the old, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmy and Joe's. Thing is, in college football, that head coach is responsible for all of it. So if it is the Jimmys and Joes, he's the one doing the great job of bringing in the right people. Now, to me, again, Indiana and Curt Cignetti, it is absolutely the perfect combination of everything. You had a coach that just seemed to know, all right, yep, we do need to go for it here. What, 4th and 5? No, kick the field goal. Nope, I know it. I know what we got. And then you have the player, right? I mean, the coach has to make the call. The offensive line has to execute. And then you have the guy, the dude, that can go make it into something extraordinarily special.
The whole story about him with his mom.
Yes. But you go back and you look at the blocked punt, that call, but making the play, knowing again when to, all right, we're not going to go for it every time. Let's kick the field goal here and get a little more cushion. I mean, it just, like you said, everything he has done, Cignetti, with this team, bringing in the right guys, playing the right guys, making the right calls at the right time. And, yeah, there's no question. I mean, you can call. You can have the best play caller in the world, and if your receiver goes out and drops the ball or your quarterback makes the wrong read, it's all for naught. What was amazing is, they made the right call every time. You go back, Cignetti talked about the importance of that Penn State game in the confidence for his team, because they had to rally.
We left Penn State
on the road, and they knew, they they should have lost that game. The circumstances dictated that you should lose that game, but Mendoza kept making the throws. The receivers kept making the catches. 3 huge, big-time plays. The touchdown catch, I'll argue, is as good as anything I've ever seen from a receiver on a college football field. They played it again last night on the they were going through some of the highlights of Indiana during the season. I've seen it, I don't know how many times.
His wherewithal.
It is physically impossible to do what he did
in the
but
air.
It's not just wherewithal. You contorted your body in a way that your body can't contort.
Hey, my right leg's not going to get down. I better get my left down. And he's lucky he was up 16 feet in the air, jumping high, that he could do that. My goodness, I don't know how he did either. It's like, okay, he was coming down and he goes, my right foot's not going to get in, and he just lifts it up and then drops his left. It was amazing.
Anyways,
yes.
hats off to Indiana.
Everything about it. I loved everything about it.
Yep.
Alan, I apologize, Mr. Weiser.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. He took the Hoosiers, and I said, okay, I'll take the over. I said, we'll bet a case of beer on each, and if it's a sweep, we'll go 3 cases.
Oh.
And I won both ends, so.
There you go.
I got my beers back. So,
although how many beers?
He was up 5. So
okay.
I mean,
all right.
I'm sorry. He was up 4. So he's up 1 still. It's a lot better than the 6 before the last week's title
Penguins
game.
keep getting it done. Flyers might want to keep an eye on that Sidney Crosby fellow. Just throwing it out there as a possibility in future matches.
We're going to commercial. Ironhead, sorry, he's not here right now. He's taking a nap.
We are going to.
I literally send a message to my Pittsburgh Penguin fans, like, congratulations for the 7,800,911 point that Sidney Crosby has scored against the
Flyers. I mean, it is uncanny.
Like, when he was living in Mario's basement, I think that he was beating him with like a Flyers like logo like belt of some sort, and just like created this like animal that he's just like, must kill the Flyers, must kill. I mean, it's unbelievable how much he kills the Flyers. Every freaking game he scores. God, it's annoying.
That's a thing of beauty.
Oh, it's not. It's horrible. I can't wait for them to be finished.
Take a time out here. When we come back, Penn State Wrestling continuing to make history. And we'll pick up on that on the other side. You're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Serenos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS.
The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox State College.
Back here on a Tuesday afternoon, coming off a busy weekend. The Dear Goon, as always, just loves his soda. That's his beverage of choice. Always when we come
Absolutely
here to Quaker
not.
Steak Lube.
You know I'm
What?
screwed up when I order
know.
a Coke. You know there's something wrong.
I thought you were a
I don't know,
teetotaler.
man.
Is that no longer
you
the
were
case?
sick
Huh?
for about a week or two period. You go away
Passing
for a couple
it along.
days, and all of a sudden I come back.
You
and
take it.
Me and my wife are now fighting this, but we had people up this weekend, so it could have been from that too. I had my family.
I had
in
people
town,
up too. My people wait till I'm out of town to come into town, but that's
a sign. That's on
another
you,
story.
buddy.
By the way,
That one's on you.
A very happy anniversary. My parents today are celebrating their 58th anniversary. So happy anniversary to
How did they
my
do
folks. That is
How were you born out of wedlock? 17 years.
Yeah, how about it?
My goodness, Jeffrey.
All right,
by the
Penn
way,
State Wrestling.
And they asked for what? French?
They want French fries
God
for
bless
the
them.
for dinner. That's my big gift
God
to them.
bless
I'm like,
America,
I will
baby.
spring for the French fries this evening.
That's
All right,
awesome.
Penn State Wrestling, if you have not heard,
What?
even more history
What?
made today for the first time in the history of the rankings. One school has 6 wrestlers ranked number 1 in the country, and thought this was probably going to be the case given the results of the weekend. Luke Lillidahl remaining undefeated. Vincent Robinson, who was number 1 for NC State, lost on Friday night, and so Lillidahl does move up from number 2 to number 1. And then Rocco Welsh, who was ranked 4th at 184, of course, won the 2-1 tiebreaker at Iowa on Friday night. And so, there's not much to choose from there among the top 4, but Welsh is the only one that's undefeated. Now, he hasn't wrestled, obviously, Sinclair yet, and they would not meet until the NCAA tournament. And he also hasn't faced Max McAnally of Minnesota. But again, they each have a loss, and he could face McAnally at the Big Tens. Rocco Welsh could. But Welsh does move to number 1, up 3 spots at 184. So those two join the 4 Nittany Lions who are already number 1, and Shane Van Ness at 149, Mitchell Messenbrink at 165, Levi Haynes at 174, and Josh Barr at 197. Again, it is the first time in college wrestling history that one school has 6 different individuals ranked number 1. And Penn State fans probably think, you're still too shy, because you have undefeated freshman Marcus Blaze ranked 4th at 133, and PJ Duke ranked 3rd at 157. And certainly those two are among the contenders at their weight classes as well. Braden Davis, after the loss to Nasir Bailey, drops 4 spots in the rankings this week at 133, and Davis checks in at number 10 in the rankings. Excuse me, number 11. Bailey moves up to number 10. Braden Davis is now 11, so he drops 4 spots in the rankings at 141. And then Penn State also has Cole Mirasola. He moved up 1 spot to number 12 now at heavyweight. So all 10 starters ranked in the top 12. 8 of the 10 starters are undefeated. Those 8 are all ranked in the top 4. And they have, again, an unprecedented 6 wrestlers now ranked number 1. The Nittany Lions already have 5 shutouts on the season, including 4 in their last 5 meets. They've lost 1 bout total in their last 5 dual meets. So 49-1 in the last 5 dual meets are the Nittany Lions. And on paper, you would have to say, if they can stay healthy, shutouts are possible and probably bordering on likely against both Indiana Friday night at Rec Hall and then at Maryland on Sunday afternoon. Penn State has never had more than 5 shutouts in its history in one season of wrestling, and they again already have 5. Every time they take the mat, you feel like it's a possibility regardless of the opponent, but certainly I think a reasonably good opportunity to get at least 1, if not 2 shutouts this coming weekend.
Are you in the locker room post-match?
I'm not usually
like that.
No, I'm usually I on the road. I usually will meet up. So I'm seeing the guys as they're coming out, and they're usually grabbing food and just talking things over. But I'm usually in the hallway just outside of the locker room.
I wonder how the Rocco and Ferrari thing with the stare. Do you think Rocco saw that? Or did he come back from the handshake? He came back to the bench.
I really don't know.
Somebody was like, "Yeah, dude, that dude's acting the fool.
Yeah,
go take care of him."
I will say, I don't think
somebody told him, because he gave him the stare when they shook hands at the end. Yeah, and it was the most perfect thing I've ever seen in my life. That is me. That is the ultimate FU in sports. So you want to act that way. You want to act the fool, act the tough guy, act with this and that and this and that, and you don't back it up, and I go and win the match. You better expect I'm coming back with something. But something like very Welsh just gave him a little stare like he had gotten. And I said, that's perfect. You don't need to do anything. Yeah. You don't need to make a big display of everything. You don't need to go out
especially
and try to
at this stage of the season,
when you're just amazing.
Could likely meet twice more yet with the stakes bigger each time down the road.
I got another question for you. So I was with my family this weekend. They were all up here this weekend. There was 5 of the 8 of us, and our spouses and kids and stuff. We had a great time. So not all wrestling fans, but we're watching it. And my one brother says, "How's the guy on his knees not get a stall?"
Yeah, this is
a question. All right, good. I did not know this.
It's been an ongoing discussion. There are some folks that are lobbying to have the rule change so that it is an automatic stall call if you drop 4. And, different people have different ideas, but I think generally the people that are pushing for it, listen, if you drop to your knee for 5 seconds, You can't do that again in that period. Maybe something along those lines. I'm not sure that you necessarily. I don't think it's great for the sport. I'm not sure that there's enough guys that do it or that have success with it that it's necessarily something you need to legislate. I'm very curious to see when we get to the postseason in particular, especially when you have guys like Rocco Welsh and Max McAnally out there, and then even Aiden Sinclair with Missouri. But in the Big Ten, what are the different approaches that those guys maybe take this next time around? Now, having had the feel for it, talking with their coaches, and I don't know, maybe the strategy is exactly the same. I will say, from my standpoint, Rocco Welsh wrestled an extremely smart and well-disciplined match on Friday night. It is not easy when a guy is doing that and trying to bait you to not at some point just say, "Oh, screw it, I'm going to go try." And in the process, you take yourself out of position, and then he's able to reattack, and that's what he's waiting on is, hey, I need you to take a shot, make a mistake, and then I capitalize. But the downside of it obviously is it doesn't generate any offense. And then when he needed the offense in the tiebreaker, it's really hard to just, all right, then I'll just turn it on. So we'll see how it works. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I'm probably would lean, at least at the moment, against ruling it out from the sport.
If he wants to put himself in that predicament, then go ahead.
But it is not. It's not great for the sport. I mean, because it is really boring to watch a guy sit there on one knee. And he did end up getting a stall call against him, which is also interesting because if you're going to call stalling there once for it, well, then why would you not? So I don't know what exactly the thinking was on why the call was made when it was. I do know there are people that were pointing out the Penn State's, he's looks like he's down on one knee again. Looks like he's not really doing anything, just down there on one knee again. So I don't know. It's something they may look at. The rules committee may look at moving forward. I mean, I wouldn't have any problem if they legislated it out. I just think it's a little tricky in trying to figure out, okay, I mean, you don't want a guy, that's in an exchange and then just drops to the knee and gets caught there for a little bit necessarily to be penalized. But I don't know. I think there's ways you could probably write that up to make it workable. But
interesting.
We'll see what ends up happening.
I didn't know that was a thing, or otherwise I'd have passed that was my own question. Like I actually had some knowledge of the damn sport. Son of a beast.
No, it is something that is being discussed about.
No, but it was just an unbelievable match though. Watching it, I mean, going out there. I mean, how loud was it? Was it just like the prep just insane, crazy out there?
No, I will say. I mean, it was a good atmosphere. I will say going into it, talking with some of the fans, they were. I don't ever, even when Penn State went out 2 years ago, and I thought on paper that was every bit the mismatch in terms of the dual meet. Even then, it felt like Iowa fans felt like they had a real shot going in. I really did not talk to anybody, and not like I talked to a ton of people, but I mean, we ran into a few Iowa fans in the hotel, went out to the restaurant and just talking with a few folks, and like, hey, I see you tomorrow, and hope we can get three wins against you was kind of the general sentiment. So it was. I think they were resigned to their fate in terms of the dual loss going in, which is really unusual for that place. But what I do think they were kind of banking on is I think they and not unreasonably, thought that they would win 2 of the last 3 bouts and at least have a bit of a good feeling at the end of the night. That was as quiet. After Mirasula got the takedown in that second period, that is by a good wide margin the quietest I've ever heard Carver Hawkeye. And a lot of people started making their way to the exits even during that third period when the bout, obviously is still in doubt. But yeah, I think that fan base is a little restless. I think they are accepting the fate now.
That's where I'm thinking.
And I think there is a lot more chatter about, hey, we need to find a new direction. What I think the challenge is going to be is, it's the same thing we talked about with James Franklin here. I'm not saying it's you don't do it, but
who are you going to get?
Yeah, who are you going to get? Because with the real objective, and I think that the frustration there isn't just that the gap seems to be widening between Iowa and Penn State. It's that now I think they have a really strong feeling that Ohio State is passing them by as a better overall program, that Oklahoma State is going to pass them by if they haven't already as a program, and that they're looking more at like a 4th, 5th neighborhood as a program, which is used to being the top dog. It's kind of like Alabama football right now. It's like, wait, we can't be third in the SEC. We need to be. And I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying like they, even second in the SEC. I mean, Iowa has a tough time accepting that. But when you're talking about maybe 3rd, 4th in the Big Ten, 4th, 5th nationally, they get very restless. That being said, again, I don't know. And I read a really interesting article. I thought it was interesting. And I'll see if I can dig it up during the break, because I'm forgetting now even what publication it was from. But I think it was in Iowa, but I might be wrong. It might be a national publication. But they were talking about the Friday night duel. The contention of the author was it was more about the training habits and properly training your athletes versus the old school habits. It wasn't that Penn State wanted it more. It wasn't that Penn State just has these unbelievable athletes and Iowa can't match up there. It was that Penn State knows in the modern era how to train. And I got to tell you, I was thinking about that. I would be really curious to know, and you touched on it with Indiana, and they're shorter, maybe crisper practices. Yeah. But it's like get in, get your work done, and then get off your legs and rest your legs. I do think in the era we're living in, and this is across the board in athletics, I do think that the teams, the programs, the organizations that can stay ahead of the curve or up to date with the very latest information on what is best for the body. And I mean, this is from strength training, because he had me thinking with the strength and conditioning coach too. Like, there was a time, I think we've talked about this, where Penn State just had like the women's gymnast, okay, that you're a balance beam specialist was doing the exact same workout as the offensive guard on the football team. And it's like, well, instinctively, right, that's insane. Like a sprinter on the track team was doing the exact same thing as a diver, and I don't know how long this was, but I mean, there was a period.
Oh yeah,
I think this was in the 80s anyway, where everybody was doing the Nautilus.
It was something to do.
And it was,
no one was doing stuff 30 years ago,
Yeah, and it was all, it was geared around preventative maintenance as best as they could figure at the time. But again, it's like, well, if you just think about it, what a track athlete is trying to do, right? A sprinter, even within track, a sprinter and a shot putter are trying to do very different things with their body. Well, a wrestler and a gymnast or a volleyball player and a softball player, you're wanting different things out of your body, and so you're instinctively, right? You feel like, well, they should be trained.
Has a strength coach now.
Yes,
in the 80s, it was a strength coach at Rec Hall who would work 12 teams.
Yeah, and so with that, now we also know a lot more about nutrition.
The kids do not the teachers.
Well, everybody,
but the kids are more in tune with younger ages.
People know a lot more about the mental component to it and how to motivate, and that not all of us are motivated the same. There are, and if you just think about it, like with, if you have, and I only have a single kid, so I'm talking a little bit out of my rear here, and I'll admit that, but you talk to parents of who have 3 or 4 kids, and it's like, well, yeah, this kid I have to coddle a little more. This kid I have to kick in the butt a little more. Like, you see different personalities in this. Well, it's the same thing. Again, some kids respond to, man, you got to get in their face, and here we go. And the other kids are like, hey, he's off with that. I know what I'm doing. I got, so it's not, everything one size fits all. And with that, even within that, okay, it's like, all right, well, yeah, wrestlers need to train a certain way. They're always pulling. They're trying. You got to work your neck for sure. Yep, all true. And then also, though, there's the history of the guys. Well, actually, I had a shoulder injury, and I really did something back in the 7th grade. Well, then maybe we're going to adjust the way we train you a little bit to the guy who's never had any problems with his shoulders, and again, a wide variety of things. So we have a lot more information. What we choose to do with that information, though, is still up to the different programs. Yep. And it is interesting. I just, when you talk and you hear stuff through the grapevine about, football programs or wrestling programs or any other sport, I'm sure it's like, well, these guys they're overtraining, right? And we know now that is such a thing. Now, maybe, once upon a time, it's like, well, everybody was overtraining, so it wasn't a big deal if you were overtraining. Well, now, and that was kind of the point of this article, is that Iowa, and I don't know this to be true or not. The article was saying that Iowa, they were stating it as a fact. I don't know it to be a fact, but they were saying, listen, Penn State gets the recovery part of the train and recovery, and they take care to make sure that their athletes peak at the right time of the year and that they don't overdo it at different stages. Whereas Iowa, it is the old school mentality of, oh, you lost, well, you need to work harder. And again, sometimes it's not about working harder, it is about working smarter.
I've asked you that in the past about that. I said, it just seems to me that Iowa guys look miserable, always look miserable, because they're so beat up and tired, and our guys look fresh as daisies out there and just dropping bombs on these guys and hammering them. I almost said he's a hammer, but I won't go there yet. I won't use that vernacular as of yet. But I mean, even the last few years, I have asked you. I said, I wonder what their training is like, because it just seems, because I always ask, is like are the Brands brothers so in tune with what's his name, coach? Jeez Louise.
Brands?
No,
Gable.
Yeah. Are they so stuck in his way? Like, okay, well, you lost that match. You get on the bike, man. 2 hours. Give me a 45-minute workout there. Is that helping you or hurting you? I don't know. And it just seems like our guys being Penn State wrestlers, it seems like they're enjoying themselves out there. I mean, one is they're winning, yes. So I guess that's a little bit. You can smile a lot easier when you're winning. But it just seems like our guys are fresher and they're going out there and just doing what they want to do. And the Iowa guys are always look miserable and PO'd and just look tired and beat up, especially around finals and nationals. They always look beat up to me.
Yeah, again, there's just so much
different.
Well, there's so much information available now. Again, in terms of what is best.
That's a great question for me to ask you right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can finish your point.
No,
like, what does Kale like come to these guys and say, what do you do? And then he has his little strength staff with him and his training staff, and they're all together.
Well, so this is the other part of it.
We know every guy is different.
And
all 30 guys in that room are different.
But there are some things, right, that everybody, just like in football, like, you need to know how to block. I mean, even a quarterback, I get that he's not going to work on it every day the same way, but we've seen like
I will give you an indication of something. I'll give you an example. Once a week, the offensive line had fumble recovery drill.
Yeah.
It's not like we're expected to do that, but hey, you got to practice it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're not one to go out there and have to pick the ball up, but hey, we practice it.
Well, and sometimes, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break here. Let's pick this up on the other side, because I also think that's interesting. I think it's an interesting discussion in terms of how you use that practice time and get the most out of it, because I think that's fascinating. I think there's probably a bunch of different thought processes on, all right, well, this is the best way to do it. And
I'll give you one story on the way out.
All right.
When I was coaching Division III at Hampton, Sydney, we had Rose Bowl Friday every week on home games. So all the skill guys would go out and practice, and then we'd sit in our little meeting room, and there's a window watching practice, right? We could all look at there. But we're watching my Rose Bowl from 1995.
Beautiful.
And it was just like, what? We're not going out there Friday afternoon. I don't know who I'm blocking by Friday afternoon. It ain't happening Saturday afternoon. We're done. You know what I mean? So we would go in there, and I'd tell the coach, like, hey, I would like, hey, we're watching some big time film here. You know, we get a half of like the team we're playing. Again, we had it all week. Enough is enough. You're not going to watch the Rose Bowl every Friday at home games. It was great. Rose Bowl Fridays.
Yeah, I think there's some really, really interesting things that we can delve into in terms of how to approach that, maybe specifically with football, but just in general. And maybe we'll touch on some of the other sports as well, because just as you can overtrain, I also think there is such a thing as over preparing or getting too concerned about one thing and then letting something else lapse. So we'll kick that around a little bit on the other side of this top of the hour break. You're listening to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Sorentos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter. and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors. People invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And back here on a Tuesday afternoon.
mean, what do wrestlers do? What do they do during the day when they have a night match?
All right.
You know what I mean?
We had just real quick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how. I got to go back on where we had. So we have not had audio for a while here. I appreciate. It was taking me a little while to catch up here, so I appreciate the folks that were letting us know. I think we have it now. I appreciate everybody letting us know because we don't know. And I did again. We had a power outage here, so very brief, but. And I think we had it at the station too because we've lost our stream. I'm not sure if we have the radio show per se on, but we have the audio back here, at least a YouTube channel. Thank you for confirming that. Appreciate again everybody letting us know. So I'm not exactly sure. Apologize. That had to be fun watching a couple of people talk with no sound. That's really
there's so much information we can release to the world, Jeff.
Yeah, really
they're sequestering us.
Interesting stuff. But we're just talking about the
what
technology and how it changes what coaches can do, maybe what they need to do, but even the athletes. And you were talking about Drew Aller, which is one of the one I wanted to get to that because again, it's almost like you can over prepare for something.
Sure
whether like a job interview, it's like, yeah, you want to know something about the company. You don't need to know everything that the company's ever done and all of the history. Like it you want to have some knowledge. You want to have some awareness. Again, if there's a specific thing or two that you can pick up on and use to your advantage, yep, by all means, go for it. But to try to break down every play of every game over the last decade, well, what's the point of that?
I'm telling you right now, that's the definition of an insecure coach, that he doesn't think that his kids got it. They got to meet more and more and more, and that's not necessarily true. I hated night games because of the meetings. You met in the morning, you met at lunch, you met before, you got on the bus, and it was like, God, this is too much. We already had our Monday, our Tuesday, our Wednesday, our Thursday, our Friday meetings. Now we're doing 3 on Saturday. It's way too much. It's overkill. You get tired out of it,
In a sport like football, Goon, I think I've probably made too much this year. I think I've brought it up in just about every interview I've done, but I really am fascinated by the dynamics on the road trips of the camaraderie and just the way the guys interact.
Your guys.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think it's the same thing when you're on the road with a sports team. There's just a different you find out whether your guys really get along or your team really gets along because it's you.
Man.
Like you're not going home and spending time with roommates that aren't part of the team, or like it's your team, whatever the traveling party is, at least for your team, and that's it. And I think there is hopefully you're seeing a chemistry develop there, and if you don't, then you kind of know, all right, something's amiss. I do think there is something to be said. And I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. Again, you've got to have talent. You've got to have discipline, all of those things. But in a sport like football especially, Goon, like you've got to have some camaraderie. And so getting together, and I don't care if it's having beers at a bar in the offseason if you're of age, because, of course, it would only be players of age that would do that, or going to the movies, or just, hey, let's play some video games and just kick around. But spending time together and forming that friendship, that trust, the bond, I think is important. And I also do think, and I think we're learning more and more about this too, that you do need downtime. Like you can't be 24/7 about football. Not even a coach. I mean, but especially obviously a college student hopefully is spending a little time in the classroom, but you need to have a life outside of it. Needs to be an important part of your life, needs to be a priority, your sport, but you need time to just, hey, I'm not thinking about that at all.
That's why I got out of it, Jeff. I mean, I got guys I grew up with. Two of my best friends are college football, NFL coaches. It's just like I couldn't do it. I was not 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
I was not geared like that. And when I was coaching in Division III level and stuff like that, I used to tell the head coach, like, listen, I need a day. I need a day away from you. I need a day away from the guys. The guys need a day away from me. Just give me Sunday, and we'll watch. I'll get all the film study in, and I have to get done and stuff like that. But I just needed time off, and everybody does. So something as simple as this, Jeff. When you flew out to Iowa the other day, you guys have a movie on your flight? Or was there guys just watching individual movies on their laptops type of thing?
So, some will do that, yeah.
Yeah, so what we used to get into, but it turned into who was watching what are we watching? What Joe appreciated, we're watching the movie on a bus ride or a plane, you know what I mean? That goes into it. But, yeah, something as simple as, watching a movie. Can you guys figure out what movie you guys want to watch as a team type of thing? So, but, yes, some people can do it. Like, that's the thing about the college football coaching is that it's like, okay, you're done coaching your guys. Now you got to recruit, you got to leave a practice Friday afternoon and go recruit Friday night. You got to recruit Monday on the phone. And it's crazy, man. You don't have any real downtime. And that drives people crazy. But it is so much easier than it used to be, in my opinion, with technology. And the coaches who realize that, the better. But the coaches who understand their team, they can't. I think that Kale might be pretty good at this, and that's reading his guys. And you can't force your, how you prepared, how you did things on everybody, because everybody's different.
Right.
And you got to tweak it. And I think that the wrestling thing, I love doing our show because I learn more about that than anything. I know at football. Our football is very regimented. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are all regimented. They're the exact same thing when I was playing. Exact same thing every week. Now, wrestlers are different. You guys have different, food interests. Food, what can you have? What can't you have? I mean, even time of matches, that comes into play.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, God, if the heavyweight, if it starts at 133, does the heavyweight? When's he start warming up? He has to in football, we're all warming up together. We're all playing the game all at the same time type of thing.
Yeah.
So it is a different animal with the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
And it is so interesting to hear how you guys travel differently and stuff like that. But in the end, it's about how your coach realizes it and what does he do? Are they making these wrestlers you do it this way? And I don't think they do that. I think they let them be themselves. They all have their own routines.
Yeah, although, again, I think what is interesting to me, again, I'm thinking through with Kurt Signetti and his ability to get that team to do things as well as they did throughout each of the last couple of seasons and as consistently as they did. And, again, every coach is there's not a coach out there that said, hey, don't worry about it if we turn the ball over a few times today. That's no big deal, right? Every single coach is don't turn the ball over. And they're practicing, hey, try to rip it out. We don't so everybody is trying to do the same thing. Everybody is preaching the same thing. And some teams do it better. What Indiana did was extraordinary in that regard. So how do they go about? And I think obviously, I don't think they're going to give all of the. Hey, this is exactly how we prepare. But I do think it's fascinating because, again, let's say you're out on the field for an hour and a half, and it's all right. Well, special teams are important to us, right? Joe Paterno always.
Yeah,
did dedicate a segment of practice, right? But how much do you, or do? And some of the players involved in special teams, obviously not the kicker, and often not the holder, but a lot of the guys are involved on either offense or defense as well. So it's not that you can. All right, well, special teams guys, you do your thing at the same time we're working on the offense and defense here. Again, the kickers can, but at some point you've got to, hey, we need to know this is how we're going to go about trying to block the punt, or this is how we're going to go about trying to make sure we don't get a field goal or an extra point blocked, and those types of things. So how many times do you do it? How many times do you practice the trick play? How many times do you go over? And again, at every level of every sport, much to kids' chagrin, like you do go over the basics. I'm trying to. My kiddo is 10, and he's like, "Oh, why do we keep? I know how to do a double leg, Dad." I'm like, dude, you're going to do double legs. You're going to do a single leg and a double leg in the sport every day of your life, or you're going to be working with coaches that aren't doing the right thing. You have got to work on that. You've got to work constantly from underneath. Well, it's the same thing in football. Like, I already know how to block. I've been blocking since yeah. Hopefully you do. So we're going to keep doing it every day because there are fundamentals to the sport. But again, how much you do it, all right, the new wrinkles, how much you spend on preparing for this specific opponent. Like, I think all of that stuff is fascinating. And I think there's a general idea of, all right, this is kind of how we do it. But the nuance is in, all right, well, how are you tweaking your practices? Yeah, we're not going to spend. We're going to do it. If we do it right the first time, boom, we're moving on next play.
Yep.
If we don't do it right, well, how many times are you doing it until you do it right? Okay, keep doing it until we get it right. Or, all right, after 5 times, forget it, guys. We're taking this one out of the playbook this week because for some reason you can't. Like, all of that stuff is, to me, fascinating about how different coaches approach this.
I have to tell you this, and that is that you ask anybody who played here at Penn State on the football program, they will tell you Joe was an absolute master of reading our legs.
Yeah,
we have legs that day? And he would look at us on a Wednesday, and we'd be sluggish and heavy-footed type of thing. He'd blow it away. He would cut 6 minutes off of this drill, cut this period completely, and just say, hey, you guys look slow. Get off your feet. Now it'd be like, hey, get in the tubs, get here, get there. We didn't have those back in the day. It was get off your feet. But Joe, he was unbelievable, like amazing at how he could project and predict, like in the spring, in the fall, in the preseason, in a Wednesday or Thursday practice, hey, you guys look slow. I can read it. I can feel it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
I also think one of the things that's interesting, or would be interesting, if you're able to kind of compare and contrast, is like, what do you focus on in the film study or in practices in terms of trying to correct? Like, all right, somebody fumbles in a game. Well, is it a guy that doesn't normally fumble and
they want to know why?
Just somebody came from behind? Yes.
Was it a good
well, how
play?
much time are you going to
play?
spend? Like, the guy knows, I don't want to fumble. I know the guy came from behind. I'm aware, like, if it's a senior and that was the first fumble in his career during a game, I mean, how much time? Like, he knows, okay, I don't fumble. He never has fumbled. All right, we get it. We can move on. Whereas, if you have a play that goes for a touchdown, but the second receiver didn't carry out, hey, you're supposed to, like, fake this guy or block this guy, and instead he took a couple of steps and just watched. Well, if you go back on that guy, hey, we need you doing this right. Or is it, wow, no, the result was good. Like, that stuff does matter, I think, at the end of the day, the approach to that and how much time you spend on it. And I don't think all coaches are the same in that regard. And, again, even like with wrestling, it's not that Penn State doesn't. I saw somebody said the other day, Penn State doesn't even scout their opponents. They just go out there. That's not quite accurate. The focus is not, hey, we're going to gear how we wrestle around what this guy does. No, we're going to go wrestle the way we know how to wrestle. But yes, are you going to be aware, hey, this guy has a really good cement mixer, and you need to be aware. Well, it's not that they just blindly go and
that's what
never study anything, but the kids might not. Again, and it might just be the coach that says before hey, just this guy has a good headlock. Be aware of it.
That's amazing.
This guy is, really looks for the ankle pick. Just keep steady or keep your legs back, whatever it may be. But it could be just one or two things rather than, all right, this guy, he's shot a single leg 70% of the time this year on the right side, but he likes to control the time. It's like, okay, again, information overload versus, hey, this is, and same thing with a football opponent. Like, do you want to know, hey, man, this team just never 3rd and 5 or less, they run every time. Be prepared for the run. Doesn't mean that, that at some point they may not throw in the surprise wrinkle, but we want to know that ahead of time. But do you need to know, all right, well, 60% of the time they've run the trap here. 30% of the time they've run. Well, the kids, again,
they need to know.
Hey, just look for the trap. That's what they run most often. But also keep your, don't go flying in on it, right? Or whatever it may be. I do think that stuff is fascinating. And I do think part of it is the attention span of male athletes versus female athletes. And I've talked about this with different coaches over the years, and I think those that are honest will tell you, the attention, generally speaking, not saying there's no exceptions ever, but generally speaking, not surprising to any teachers out there, male students have less attention span than females. They start wandering around, and I want to look over here. I want to see. Oh, I'm intrigued. So when you're setting up a practice, again, maybe you go 10 minutes hard on this, and then take a break, boom, pivot, and so that you have the attention for everything you're doing for the span of time that you have it. Like, I think that stuff is important to be aware of and to know what it is you're dealing with whatever human beings you're dealing with.
I mean, again, I go back to what I could not believe what I heard about wrestling, and that was they really don't watch that much film. And that just blew my mind because football, you can't watch enough film playing football. That's how I was
again,
taught.
there are some guys different. Different people will do it differently, different programs.
The coach is going to stay the hell out of his left hand. It's strong as hell. Avoid that. You don't need to see it on film or whatever. I just thought, if Joe Schmo loses a match to whatever, does he want to watch that match and say, damn, he had me. I mean, that's just how I am. But again, I'm a football player, and you can't watch enough film in football. But what the wrestler guys told me is, why don't I want to watch film when all I want to do is impose my will on him? And I said, well, damn. I goes, I don't care what he does. He's got to stop what I do. And I was like, damn, I didn't think of it like that. But it's a little different with football. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
You could definitely learn a lot about guys in football. You mean what I learned was the easiest thing? Was look at their height, their pad levels, on the pass rushing type of thing, what their moves were they bull rush, were they wide, this and that. So that was big for an offensive tackle. But it's also you see how guys play when they're tired too.
Yeah.
So if you get guys tired out there, that was our thing. We would try to get them tired because I'm setting and doing this. You're coming at me going 900 miles an hour, trying to go around me and chase a quarterback down. You're going to tire out faster than me. So keep them on the field and this and that and 2-minute drill. But you learned a lot in film work as an offensive lineman. But it just amazed me that you not that much film work. But it's a whole different world, though. I mean, it is a team versus an individual type of sport, but there is the team aspect to the wrestling and 1-for-1. But like somebody asked me about why were you guys different in '94? I said I don't know. I said everybody knew what the hell we were doing. It wasn't like we were not running some like crazy offense. I mean, we were running the same offense at Ohio State, that Michigan, and Notre Dame. We were all the four big horsemen. Yeah. We all ran the same damn offense, power I. and you knew what was coming because you practiced against it for 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, the defenses and the offenses were the freaking same. So, but you learned a lot about people, and that was the thing. That was the biggest thing with offensive line play.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me. The different approaches that you can take.
I had an offensive line coach who was Craig Service. He was an architect by nature, so he was all about angles, about this and that. And then I learned how to watch film with him, and I could put, you give me a film of a guy, and he loved the slow motion frame, boom. And he'd be like, look at your left hand. And you see it's just leaking out.
Yeah.
Super slow. And it's like, you're not going to make that block. And you're like, sure as hell, he didn't make that block.
Yeah.
Or if, like, this is the defensive lineman and I'm trying to reach him to the left, but my foot goes straight ahead, there's no way in hell I'm going to get to that his shoulder outside to reach him, to turn him. You can't do it. And he could break it down. Left foot, look at that.
Yeah.
You're not wide enough. You're too tight in your step. You're not wide enough. Look at your feet. They came together and you got pushed over. That's exactly what. I mean, it was like, whoa, you learn a lot from that.
Yep, no doubt.
Yes,
Let's take a break here. We're back with a final segment on our Tuesday edition. It's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Sorentos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
Back here on a Tuesday afternoon. NFL playoffs continuing, dear Goon, and then Sean McDermott, not fired, relieved of his duties. I love that terminology. As head coach of the Bills, he fired after 9 seasons.
Does it say relieved because of a money thing?
Just. No, it's just
if he was fired, they own the money. If he just said,
well, they owe him the money regardless.
Now, Tomlin is not going to coach. Do they owe Tomlin his money if he doesn't coach anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know how that's written into the deal.
Crazy.
But McDermott was such a big part of not just the Bills organization, but that community. Like, this feels like a big deal. And I think when you look at I think the NFL looked awful. I don't know what your thoughts were in not reviewing what I think was clearly a catch on the review. I don't understand. For a league that keeps talking about the importance of we got to get it right, I get they didn't have the challenge, but you have the ability. Why would you not take a look at that just to try to get it right? It's like, well, no, in this case, a big play on a big stage, we don't care if we get it right. What?
So they could not review it, right?
No, they could. They didn't review it. They absolutely could have.
They could have.
Well, yeah, the league. Yeah,
they throw the flag, or those.
The league, the NFL can say, "Hold on, we want to take another look at that."
We're going to quick look at this, and they did, but they didn't get nothing.
And and to me, especially in this era where we have scandal after scandal with the betting front, like, what are you doing? Wait, what are you doing? That is just a really bad look for the NFL. Whether or not that directly cost McDermott his job, you could make that argument.
Nuts, though, is that they let them play
and
for 3 3/4, and then they decided they're going to call everything.
Yeah, and I don't know. It'll be interesting with McDermott because I think other teams will want him, but it was it felt like such a fit for him and that community. Like, I think it's going to be hard for him. I mean, I think, again, a coach is a coach, and maybe he'll do it seamlessly. I think it's going to be difficult for him to feel comfortable somewhere else, at least from the onset. And I don't know what I think he's a terrific coach. I think he had that locker room. I think it's going to be difficult, and I'm not arguing whether one way or the other way, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. A lot of organizations are making the decision. I think most of them, and it's the same thing in college football. Again, everybody wants to win the national title. I get it. I'm not even arguing one way or the other that Penn State was right or wrong with James Franklin. I'm just telling you, the folks that think, all right, well, now Matt Campbell's going to come in, and now you'll see. Again, maybe much more likely than not, though, is that you're not going to win a national title. And I will say the one thing with Curt Cignetti, and excuse me, the immediate success he did at Indiana, it is unfortunate that everybody else now. I mean, that is, and we already had. Could Matt Campbell be the next Kurt Signetti? That is a really tall order, man. Like, I know he made it look easy. That is not easy. Again, there's one national champion each season. It is a really hard thing to do. It's hard to get to the playoffs. It's hard to get to the Final Four. It's hard to sustain that success. I like Matt Campbell. I think, again, we got to wait and see what this I just have no idea what this first year, and I'm not, regardless of what the first year looks like, great, bad, indifferent. That's not, I'm not predicating my belief or lack thereof in Matt Campbell on that. It'll be, let's see what happens here over the next few years. I do want to see what the recruiting looks like next year, because it is going to be important that you get some 4- and 5-star guys in here next year.
They're starting
next season.
I like it.
So, we'll see how that all plays out.
I'm interested.
I'm curious with the Bills, though, what direction they go.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Could your worlds collide? McDermott in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think I would be one of the few Steelers fans that would be excited about that. I really like Sean McDermott. I think he's a great coach. You don't think people will be
excited for that?
No, because what was the issue with Mike Tomlin?
Oh, God.
What was the issue with Mike Tomlin? Yeah. Why did Buffalo move on from Sean McDermott?
This was time. It was the same. It was the Andy Reid syndrome. It's time.
No,
it wasn't working. Tomlin's way to go about it didn't work.
It was the lack of
McDermott's way of going about it didn't work in Buffalo. It might work in Pittsburgh. We don't know.
It might.
Yeah.
And again, I would be okay with it. I don't think. I think there's very little chance that McDermott would. I think it would be a great fit.
But he would move the needle a lot with the fan base.
I think the fan base would be very upset with the.
Maybe
I think again the perception is the reason that you. I
understand your reasoning. I got you. I understand.
It would be the same thing as trying to bring in, like, if I got rid of top brands in wrestling, and it's like, what we need to do
hire his little brother.
Is
hire his twin.
Oh, that would cause all kinds of issues. But if you're like, hey, we got to bring in Sean Bourmet, who also hasn't been able to close the gap on the top contenders.
You've been a Steelers fan for a long time. Were you happy about Tomlin getting hired? Or did you trust the process of
him getting hired?
Hired.
Yes. I was
20 years ago.
Yes. I was happy with it. Because
he was like an up and coming defensive coordinator, young guy.
I mean, I liked the attitude and the
where was he?
Where was he? Tampa. And I think I think the Rooneys, the track record there kind of spoke for itself. Again, I'm, we'll see. I guess I shouldn't say I'll be happy with anybody. I'm happy with a lot of the names that are being floated out there. I won't be surprised if they go with the name that is not being floated out there. I'm okay with McCarthy. I know I think that's probably not your long-term solution, but hey, if
you think your team is ready to go and he can lead them.
Now they're not ready to go. That's the one thing. Like you've got to find a quarterback and you've got to retool the offensive line.
Good enough for me.
Like you have to get some things changed around on that roster. But again, I think McDermott will be perceived by the fans. Well, then we might as well have just kept Tomlin. If we're going to bring in the guy that can have regular season success and consistency of being good, but not get over the hump and not get to the Super Bowl, Well, we already had that, is what I think most Steelers fans would look at that as.
Didn't the Rooney, who's the owner?
Yeah.
Right now.
Rooney.
What's his name? Or whoever. You don't know. I mean, I forget his name. One was on TV and said, I wanted to run it back with Mike.
Yeah.
He just was done. So, I mean, Mike, they were going to bring Tomlin back. So it's not like they got rid of him.
I know.
He wanted that. He stepped down.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, we fired. We got rid of Tomlin. You didn't get rid of Tomlin. He stepped down. He didn't retire. He didn't get fired. He stepped down. He was done. There's a big difference in that. So, I don't know. I don't know. Do the Rooneys go with their old, tried and true, 3 coaches since 1969? Because it's not McDaniel or McCarthy. Excuse me. It would be nice to be for McCarthy for his, a nice homecoming, a nice this and that for him coming back as a Yinzer and all that. But that's not really the Steelers' MO of going after a young coordinator who's a defensive-minded guy.
Well, I will
younger
say,
age.
Yeah, they were talking this morning on the on the Two Pros and a Cup of Joe show about, and I'm with them.
Damn, well, that's early.
You need to call, or you should call, if you're the Bills or the Steelers or any of these teams with an opening, and make him say no. At least is make that call to Curt Cignetti. I'm with them. I'm like, if nothing else, pick his brain a little bit. Hey, what are you doing there? And maybe he gives you something, maybe he doesn't. And maybe again, he has expressed no interest in the NFL. But hey, throw $20 million your way. What do you think? You want to give this a shot? You've won at every level you've been at so far. Why not? Why? I mean, it's worth the phone call.
We'll do it for 2, Jeff. We'll do it for 2.
Right? I mean, I would think it's worth.
I think 100%. I think Cignetti would take that phone call.
Yeah,
I think he would not take that
Steelers,
phone call.
Right?
If it's the Steelers,
for
and like,
sure.
come on, your name's Curt Cignetti, and I know you're a college coach, but you think that he'd be like, wow, okay. I just want
you at least have to make him think
just
about
won
it.
A national title yesterday.
Say no, if that's what he wants to do, but make him say it.
At least give them
they were kicking around for the Bills, but I'm like, even the Steelers, even more so. To me, you need to at least make the phone call and just see, hey, any chance we could work something out here.
I wonder if the Bills go back to Daboll because he was, Josh Allen's guru as a quarterback coach.
Yeah,
I wonder if they bring him in as the head coach when not many people are. They're not going to give Daboll a second shot. But I think the Buffalo Bills might. Or does Joe Brady get a shot?
Yeah. I don't know. It's this offseason is a wild one for sure in the NFL. And I think there's lots of different directions you can see some of these teams going.
Denver lost their starting quarterback. They're all pro quarterback on a kneel down.
If this was college football and at least the old days of college football, all right, well, we got to take Denver out.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Florida State, the quarterback's out.
Yep.
Them out of the Final Four.
Never mind. We'll take them out. And
I do say this, that Nick Foles had an unbelievable tweet this past weekend.
Put the Bills back in.
Yeah, he said that the Patriots have a really hard time playing against backup type quarterbacks in championship games. When you're Nick Foles, you can do that.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
good show, Head.
Well, we'll go with that. I don't know how many people heard the last 45 minutes. I think we're having significant issues with that power outage with the station, although I'll confirm that right after the program ends here, which is actually going to be now. Folks, we hope you have a great rest of your day. We will be back on Thursday. Until then, be good and...
From decorating the tree to family dinners, gift exchanges, and get-togethers, the holidays are filled with traditions. Why not start a new one this year with a Kia during the Season of New Tradition sales event at Lion Country Kia? No matter where you're traveling this holiday season, the spacious 7-seater 2025 Kia Telluride can get you there. Lion Country Kia has 16 available with as low as 0.9% APR for up to 60 months or up to $2,000 in Kia finance rebates. But that's not all. Lion Country Kia has a great selection of Kia Sorentos, Sportages, Seltos, and more. There's 84 vehicles ready to move. And many have Kia's Season of New Tradition sales event retail bonus cash as high as $1,000. Happy holidays from the staff at Lion Country Kia, 1334 Driveover Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again, The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox, State College.